Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. Good evening, good afternoon. Good morning. Geek Gods, how you doing? So it's Monday and we were not going to be able to do it on Friday because Joey was tired and tired from work, came late. So it is what it is. It's okay. It's a Monday. It's a new week. We didn't get to see Superman and Lois because unfortunately that week on Wednesday morning, I was pissed off because I was like, why are they not updating the CW network website? And well, that's what happened. They didn't no post Superman and Lois uh Tuesday night and then on Wednesday. So it got into a hiatus until I believe it's the 19th or the 12th of July. I think it's somewhere in the middle. Or no. It's on the 20th, somewhere on the 20th, because I heard that it's going to end in August 15th, I believe, right? Season.
Mm.
Apparently they're still filming it. This was on Friday where I saw a picture of Elizabeth Tolch taking a picture of a cup of season one, Superman Lois that she has.
Yeah.
That they're still filming the last episode, and Stephen Amell retweeted and said, "I can't wait." So we shall see. Uh
Yeah, and this guy is popping up again. Well, I mean, they showed he's the guy who plays on Diggle, John Diggle.
Yes, John Diggle.
Yeah, they showed him on the promo, but they also showed him on promos of DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh,
So, and there's an article that just recently popped up about his appearance and the fact that the Justice League still exists in
right.
within the Arrowverse. So there's still that realm of possibility that we at some point we will still get them, but there's something's happening. There's some articles out there also saying that they're fighting with Grant Gustin to stay as the Flash, and he's trying to fight to I think he wants to leave the show. So I
You
don't know.
know, the show after season 3, I stopped watching. Season 3 was really hard to watch, especially with a lot of just some of the relationships with the characters just felt off. I think that they just were pushing too hard on like some relationships, especially how like characters weren't supposed to be in particular places, and it just felt so off, especially with Iris's character. And then we get the Iris, we are the Flash, but that's a whole nother story. But then we just got different speedsters, and we got different we kept getting the same thing. It just like a different vibe of a different character that we were getting. Like Savitar, everybody was crazy about like, and theories were popping up everywhere on Twitter, even on Facebook groups, where it was like, "Who's Savitar? I think I know who Savitar is. Savitar is this person," and then it makes sense that it was Barry Allen that was in a different timeline.
What annoys me about that entire show is the fact that every single time we have to hear Flash, Barry Allen say, um, I am the fastest man alive, when we have seen many, many episodes throughout the season that he is not fast enough
Yeah,
because
that's
he's
true.
always fighting up against a speedster that's even more faster than him. We got Zoom, we got Reverse Flash, we had Godspeed. It's there's
Savitar.
always somebody that's Savitar. There's always somebody that's much faster than he is. And so when is he gonna reach that level where it's like he doesn't even, it's like he has like godlike speed, but yet he hasn't even reached that point.
You
Freaking
know,
Wally is learn more of how to use his speed better than any than Barry.
this is true.
I didn't really like this character, but later on he improves his speed and he's like becomes like Zen master, and he's like able to create flowers out of the freaking Speed Force's lightning. And I'm like, how the hell?
it, I really didn't like his character in the beginning. I really tried to like him, and then he just felt so off. It just felt like um in Shazam when what's the bad guy's name that Mark Strong plays?
Uh,
Anyways, in the beginning in the beginning of the movie, he decides to either help Shazam or use the other deadly sins, right? And it's
yeah,
like, he went to the deadly sins, and it just felt off. Like it just like kind of wanted to punch him because he just did stupid decisions in the early episodes when he was in. But then when he got his speed, it was just like cool. Now he's cooler because he's not. He's not making stupid decisions here and there, and he gets to learn the Speed Force. One of the things I wish somebody really does after the whole season, after the whole show is over, is to have montages or like not montages, but create a whole video of all the times he met and talked to AJ Garrick,
yeah,
because those conversations of him like, okay, well, this isn't how you're supposed to do things, or you should really stop altering timelines because it's affecting not just you, it's affecting all of the Speed Force, it's affecting us. It was a conversation with him, and I think it was Crisis of Infinite Earths where he pulled him aside and his episode, and he was talking to him, especially when it was what was it, Flash 99 passed away, and then we get the Jay Garrick from Earth 3 or Earth 2.
it was when he pulls him out. It's the episode when it was the Flashpoint episode when he finds out that something's changed, and I think he pulls him
Oh
out,
yes, yeah,
and
it
then
was the
he
Flash.
decides to change the course of time, and pretty much does everything again and lets his mother die instead of having her survive, and all that stuff. And then it also changes. It
That's the
changes that
Yeah,
it changes the timeline, screwing up a lot of screwing up certain stuff, and then create it also does the when the dominators ends up coming out, a lot of things gets revealed.
and that's the thing. They always use his mom's as a plot line and a plot hole, like basically a really strong butterfly effect. Because if you mess with her death, then he doesn't become the Flash, and other heroes don't become this. And then we've seen that in the comics, and even in the animated movie, where it's like one small save of somebody that's supposed to die can affect everything. It has a ripple effect on the whole universe, on the whole timeline, etc. So yeah, and then that's what created like the DC with the Vertigo and all that stuff. Why are we talking about the Flash?
Well, we were talking about why the Flash changed a lot during the years.
Oh
Like we
yeah,
started losing interest in it, and why it's not
he's
as
sexy.
good as it used to be.
Yeah, that show just, I mean, it doesn't need to be gone. I wish it could get different writers. I think it could be improved so much and just get rid of like some of the team members, I'd say. Like Panama what's her last name? That's crap. Amanda Panamaker? Panamaker?
Yeah, the one, yeah, that plays
Yeah, I
Killer
mean,
Frost.
she's been wanting to leave for quite a while. I don't know, like her exit could be fine. Um You know who I really liked in that show? Dr. Stein.
Yeah.
Him
But then he
and
ended
the
up
other
going
guy.
to DC Legends, and then
And
he
then he
left
left.
DC Legends.
And I was like, damn, that sucks.
They took out the Firestorm character completely because he needs two people to create the Firestorm.
But there were
So they
two
had to
other
take.
there was another person that becomes Firestorm. I think it's one of the gym teachers, I think, of his that becomes part of the Firestorm as well.
Well, it was Stephen Amell's cousin first, Robbie,
Right.
um, with Stein. Then he left, and he needed to find another version, because if he didn't find another version, I think he was gonna die. He needed somebody that was not die, but he needed another part. He couldn't do it by himself. So
Mm,
they have found somebody for Dr. Stein, and it was this kid, the black kid.
I don't remember.
You
I think I
remember
know
the
I
other
think I know who,
firestorm? There was two
no, no,
firestorms.
no,
And
I know, I know. I remember his face, but I can't remember the character's name. Can't remember his name.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think that a lot of the writing just needs to it needs to be different. We're tired of Have you seen though Godspeed's suit? It's
Godspeed
like,
suit.
yeah, have you seen it? Have you seen photos of it?
I like it.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, I mean it's the same as the comic books in color and design and
Yeah,
everything.
it's one
So
of
it's
the most
yeah.
accurate suits I
Yeah.
think that at least the Flash has. That we've seen. It's one
Actually
of
the Flash's suits were never that great. I liked Zoom's suit.
Zoom is
I liked Reverse's Flash suit because I kind of liked it that that gritty. It had that like such a yellow, but it also had like certain black right in his
yeah,
chest.
yeah, yeah.
And the fact that he kind of didn't really reveal himself, so he kind of like vibrated, which was really cool. And what was the other one? And when they ended up showing the what was it? It wasn't Reverse Flash. It was something Flash. The
Professor
other
Zoom?
Flash. There was a Flash that was black and red. I forgot his name. He had another name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember his name. Yeah,
He
yeah,
only
yeah.
popped up in one freaking episode. He got beaten, and then that was it.
I think he had red hair too, the character. Or orangey hair. I think it was Blake something? Blaze? Blake? I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember the character's name. We suck at a character's name, by the way. I suck
Yeah,
at
I
characters'
know.
name
We gotta
and
keep doing
actors'
our
names.
research on who the hell's who
Yeah.
these days.
You're probably killing yourself
It
if
was
you're
at the
listening.
tip of my tongue back then, but I know it was a very like demon like looking in his in his design. He was kind of very interesting. He
Yeah.
looked more scarier than most of the other Flashes. But
He
then
kind
he
of
didn't
looked like
even
a
last
speed
that
demon, but
long.
not. And he was
Yeah, he didn't
pretty
even last
fast.
that long.
Yeah, he was pretty. Yeah, no. And then it was his daughter or his daughter came into the show. You told me about her and the actress, and I saw some of the episodes. It was really hard for me to watch because I was just like, this is kind of cringy. Like this is CW drama cringy.
I mean, what can you expect? You know, it's when Arrow first started, he was like killing everybody that he was going after. And then it kind of got dulled down after he felt like, oh, you got to stop killing, you know? And then eventually it's like he's a criminal, he killed people, but then he's like he's still a hero and he helps people and all these stuff. But then it's like the end of the day, it started heading towards that teenage drama, love relationship and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not as adult. It's just because WB wants to attract the Everwood and Dawson's Creek, you know, the people that watch those shows.
Yeah, it
I
just
didn't have
felt
a
flat.
problem with Dawson's Creek, but you know, it's the people they want to attract. I
I
like Dawson's Creek.
never
It
seen
really
Dawson's Creek.
that show ended up was very taboo in some moments. There was a lot of stuff that no one did. That when they do it now, it's normal. But back then, when they did it, it was like, holy crap, he slept with his teacher. Now you don't even see that. You see it like if you see it now, it's like, what he slept with his teacher. I mean, I don't blame him. But back then, it was more like, holy crap, this is very taboo. Like things like this don't normally happen, you know?
Kind of see that in like a Seth Rogen type of movie. Up with this teacher. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say about the Flash show other than It's sad to
It's
say
the thing
I
is
loved it
just that
watching it in the first
things
season,
are
second
just
season.
the Arrowverse is pretty much crumbling down after the Arrow got canceled. I already started to see that not a lot of stuff because of that particular show. Certain things are gonna start slowly falling apart.
Even like the fighting scenes though, like in the beginning of the show, the fighting scenes were really good. And then it just got played out, and then it was just like camera editing everywhere, and it was just I got really dizzy watching
I
some of
think
them.
Ruby Rose's character got replaced this time.
Yes,
As
yes, Ruby Rose got the replaced long time ago. It's a
no,
new
I
person.
mean now there's a Kate Kane, but it's not Ruby Rose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think a couple of episodes ago that ended with a sort of like, holy crap, like they're not only like they replaced her and they put an African American Batwoman, but now it's an actress portraying the character that she was portraying, Ruby Rose's character. So I
Oh,
think they're sort of want to go that route. I don't blame them. They should have done that a long time ago. It's like, so what if she's not in there? You could find another person
I think
that
she
kind of
just wanted to
resembles her.
leave, right? And it was also like the
She didn't
fans.
like the hours. They were too long and there was too much work that needed like she had to put on.
Yo,
She
family
also
was
has to
good.
understand that she's the main character. She has to put on those hours. You know, you're not a side character where you could be like, yeah, we don't need you right now.
What's good, family? What's your question, my guy? How you doing? How's your day going? Sorry if I let him finish. What's your question? While you write your question here in this. Oh wait.
You got a
Do you know
question?
why Adam hasn't been streaming? I think his microphone is kind of fuzzy with everybody's because he's playing PS5. I mean, he hooks it up with the Elgato on the PS5, so the audio is becoming very staticky. So I think he was trying to fix that. Other than that, I don't know. And also, I just don't know. He hasn't really been telling me anything about that. I think he's gonna stream on Wednesday though. Streaming, I believe, 8 hours. I think. Um. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on from that. So unfortunately, we heard bad news, or well, Joey just told me that Richard Donner passed away.
Age
Now,
91.
91. Wow. So if you don't know who Richard Donner is, and for those who do, then you do know that he directed Superman 1978 with Christopher Reeve, all the Superman movies that came out with him, except I think the last one wasn't it?
I think he did 1 and 2, and I think that was it.
Oh, he
He
didn't do
didn't
three.
do the other. I don't think he did the other ones.
Okay,
I don't think he
okay,
did the other ones.
okay. And
You know
he
what's crazy though?
go
If you
ahead.
didn't know that Mario Puzo was the one that did the scripts, and Mario Puzo is the author of the Godfather films.
Yes, I remember that. I know. I do know that one.
That's pretty
Um,
interesting.
and he was trying to get Marlon Brando to be, Jor-El, and I know that Joe he didn't like the idea of Superman. Didn't think the movie would work out, so he didn't
Yeah.
even learn his lines. So he had a guy in the back of the camera to literally, write out a script, and he would just look at it and then just say it. Look at it and just say, and you could tell he's reading off of it because he keeps looking up and then keeps looking down in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, the Saturday Night Live method. Like,
Yeah, yeah. My dad was watching me watch SNL, and he was like, "Are these guys blind or something?" I'm like, "No, they're reading off cue cards."
mhm.
You get it.
Yeah,
But
no,
yeah,
because they stare. Sometimes they stare into like another direction, and I feel like you can see like they're reading it. But
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
there's a few actors in that whole thing that actually does it pretty well. Like they look like they read it and then they start reading saying the lines while they're looking at the character. Like they could catch up on it, but it's like it's very rare.
It's no, you could notice it most of the time, especially like when I was watching it in 2012. I think you noticed a lot. Kristen Wiig was pretty good at it, not reading off of it, but yeah. I
Kristen
th-
Wiig, John Heater was pretty good at it.
Andy Samberg was okay with it. I mean, I could tell when
Yeah.
he was reading off of it, but
And most of the weekend update because they had to always stare at
oh
the
yeah,
screen
weekend
in
updates. Yeah,
areas. I
yeah,
love the
yeah.
weekend updates.
That's a given. That's a given.
Mm.
Um, I love weekend updates with what's his name? Andy. His name?
Che and Jost.
No, no, not him. Not them. The other guy.
Seth?
Seth. Seth.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking Andy?
Mm.
Um, and then he also directed. The Goonies.
Yep.
I love the Goonies. We have a lot of guys from
Which
there.
I will disappoint every one of you. I have not seen the Goonies and never sat down to watch the Goonies.
You need to
No,
see the
no
Goonies.
particular reason whatsoever. Nothing about not liking the movie or might not find it interesting. It's just it's one of those things. It's like I never got to catch it, like from the very beginning or anything like that.
I've
And it's not
seen
like my weekend agenda to be like I'm gonna go rent the Goonies. But I probably have to go rent the Goonies.
this man said Rent. I think you could stream it off of somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's on
Usually it
Hulu.
says rent on it too, like especially Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you could rent that one. Yeah. The Goonies, man. It had Ethan Hawke. It had Josh Brolin and the guy you said. I forgot his name.
Was it Ethan Hawke?
Yeah, I think it was Ethan Hawke. You'd never seen it, so you
I know
can't
it was
tell me.
Sean Astin. Uh,
Was it
Ethan
Goonies?
Hawke.
It was Goonies. I know Ethan Hawke was in Goonies, right? Probably getting yelled at by people. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We'll see if he was in it. Okay, he wasn't in it. I really thought he was in it. There's no way. I thought he was in it. No, the earliest was Explorers. Dead. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of him and Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking about. Wasn't in that. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I should be canceled right now.
It
Um,
happens because a lot of people usually gets I mean, I've seen stories of like Matt Damon talking about how many times he got confused as Mark Wahlberg and how Mark Wahlberg got confused of being Matt Damon. Two very, very different people. But
but growing up, I did get confused because they do look similar.
there's similarities, but there was also that whole like Matt Damon never would be in films that Mark Wahlberg would be in. And Mark Wahlberg would never be in films that Matt Damon would be in back then. Now it's more like they would be. But back then, Mark Wahlberg was a little bit gangster, and he was in during his feel it, feel the vibration,
Right.
and during that time.
Yeah. And what other movie did you say he directed?
Lethal Weapon
Lethal
with
Weapon.
Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, one of my all-time favorite cop fun buddy cop films. I
Listen,
mean, what
I
did really buddy cop? I say was always be comedy. It had its comedic, humorous moments, but it was savage. I love that film. That part two, part one and part two. Part three, it was okay. Part four could go right out the window.
wait, which one was the one where he was running in the train stations? And then there was a bomb on the train, or was
You
that Die
sure
Hard?
isn't Die Hard? Because I know there was that wasn't Lethal Weapon.
Wasn't Lethal Weapon? Are you sure?
Lethal Weapon, the first one was Lethal Weapon, the first one was about the girl who committed suicide in the beginning, and they were trying to investigate why she was killed, but it all had to do with drugs. Um, and they ended up kidnapping Danny Glover's character's daughter. Um, that I remember the first one. The second one was with the Germans who were doing a lot of illegal shit, but they weren't diplomatic immunity, so they couldn't be touched. But they still went after them because ended up taking Mel Gibson's character's girlfriend and drowning her, and they were going to drown him, but he ended up escaping the jacket that he was tied into. A lot of good
Oh,
scenes, but nowhere there was no bombs.
okay. Okay. Never mind
If
then.
there was any train station with a bomb, there's a possibility that it was Die Hard with a Vengeance. with Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis.
Is that the one where Samuel Jackson's driving that taxi like a maniac?
Yeah, and it
Okay,
had
so then yeah, I'm thinking of the Die Hard one. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I know I've seen Lethal Weapon, but I don't think I've seen the other ones because I know four was crap.
Oh no, it was crap. They felt like if adding Chris Rock would make it a difference, but it wasn't. It made it worse.
Oh, he directed that movie with Stallone, Assassins, and Antonio Banderas. I knew they made a movie, but I couldn't think of the movie or what it was called. He directed Assassins
Ooh, I love that one with
and
Sylvester Stallone and
Julian
Antonio
Moore.
Banderas.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
Antonio Banderas was by far one of my favorite villains ever. His character was suave, and it's like you couldn't help but like admire him. He was like the Loki of that freaking movie.
Mm.
I loved his character in there. Like there was a scene that to this day he was like trying to they knew that he was on the top of a building and he was getting ready to snipe somebody and kill somebody. And they were waiting for him. They were like doing a whole bunch of stuff. So he's up on the top of the building with the sniper rifle.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden he feels like he needs to pee. So he starts to pee, but he's still looking at his target through the window, the crack of the window. Eventually that ends up like turning into shit because and then he has like pretty much his hands are up in the freaking like on himself while they're like the people that he's trying to kill are like leaving and getting out. So, but it's a fun movie. It was good to see, and the
Gotta
whole
see that.
premise was that it was two assassins going after each other. It was like kind of like Highlander. They could be only one type thing.
Right.
So there was the sniper, there was the assassin, and that assassin got killed by Sylvester Stallone. So then there was another assassin, and that assassin killed Sylvester Stallone. So it was like one has to kill the other and stuff. So it could be like that one assassin. Eventually, at the end of the movie, yeah, it's a series of crazy shit. So it's like one assassin. The Sylvester Stallone was trained by this assassin. Sylvester Stallone killed him. So there was like, but then after he killed him, he wasn't the only one, and it was Antonio Banderas' character, and then he was going after to kill Sylvester Stallone's character. In the end, it comes out that the first guy that Sylvester Stallone killed was alive. So in order for the war between each other to work, he had to go kill the pretty much the first guy. Like it,
Wow.
they have to like. So it's like the
Oh,
whole thing. It's like
the
a
whole
game
game.
they play.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
it
whole game.
needs to be won.
Yeah. Yeah. And he also directed The Omen in 1976.
Yes.
Have you,
As
have you seen that one?
oh my god, man, didn't I? Uh this is the thing. My fascination with freaking horror movies from the 1980s, 1970s, uh, 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 where it dealt with the whole satanic Satan stuff, was downright scary. And they don't do it anymore like they do it here.
No.
Like they try to do the whole Lucifer demonic possession stuff. They don't really work as well as they did back then. I think it's because of the grainy films and how they portrayed Lucifer's character mysteriously in the film. Like it was like you don't see him, but it's there. Like, but you couldn't help but fear and the craziest shit that was happening. It's like Exorcist and Omen and oh, what was the other one? Rosemary's Baby.
Hmm.
You ever
Yeah.
see Rosemary's Baby? It's very weird and interesting. It's one of those horror movies where it was
Is that
it's
the one with the
it's
nuns? Not the nun, but there's like nuns in it.
no nuns. It was okay. So Rosemary's Baby is a woman named Rosemary. Her husband, they decide to move into New York City,
Yeah.
into the Dakotas. Everybody knows what the Dakotas is in downtown Manhattan. Here's a trivia in a few when I'll tell you about the Dakotas. So the Dakotas was they live in the Dakotas, and then eventually she ends up having a dream where she gets raped, and that's a very weird stuff. And it so happens that the guy that plays Lucifer, who rapes her in the sex scene, it was actually Anton LaVey, which was the guy who started the satanic cult, who started the Satan's cult. He was pretty much the main leader of who started
Right.
the cult, and he wrote the demonic Bible as well. Um, so the whole film takes, and they start taking care of her. She's like gonna ready to give birth, and everybody in the building is like, "Hey, can we help you? We'll gladly help you out with the baby and this and that." And eventually, throughout the whole film, it's like she barely gets to see and interact with her child. Somehow the child ends up missing, and they find out at the end you never get to see the baby. That's the whole mystery. You never get to see the baby. But in the end, they show the baby's cradle, and then when she stares at the baby, you see the look of horror in her face when she sees her child.
Right.
And then everybody starts like screaming, "Satan, Satan!" It's a very interesting and eerie movie, but it's like psychologically starts to kind of like, this is weird. This is it's like one of those psychological horror films that kind of has you thinking like, what the hell is going on here, and who the hell are these people? It's really cool.
Interesting. What
So,
was it?
whoa, the trivia. Oh my god, I think we're going on a tangent, but whatever. Anyway, the the trivia. Um, Stanley Kubrick directed that. Stanley Kubrick directed that film. Rosemary's Baby. Stanley Kubrick's wife was Sharon Tate. We all know Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Sharon Tate was killed by Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Charles Manson wrote "Helter Skelter" in her built in her walls. When they found her body, she wrote "Helter Skelter." So help it. It so happens that "Helter Skelter" is a song from the Beatles. Now, guess the Beatle that got shot, which was John Lennon, got shot in the Dakotas, where the film takes place in Rosemary's Baby. Is all a vicious
Wow.
circle. Yeah,
That's fucking
it's all a
crazy.
freaking vicious circle. It's
That's
crazy how they ended up, how that all ended up happening. It's like, I don't know, man. I think there's some like satanic shit happening in that building. But
that's
yeah,
fucking
that's
wild.
the
That's fucking crazy. I did not expect that. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
yeah, which makes the freaking film even more creepy. I swear, man. Uh,
Ah. God damn. That's crazy. That's so weird. You watched Loki? Yeah, we're about to talk Loki in a second, bro. But
Spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers. Well,
oh,
not really.
there
That
was
ending was a little bit interesting. We won't probably get those spoilers until like we get to
no, 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 let's
episode
talk about it.
5.
Let's talk about it. So the
Yeah.
episode starts right after the whole thing happens, right? And then it
Yeah.
comes into that scene where I told you that we were going to that scene from the trailer that looked like it was Scarlett Johansson, but it wasn't
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. It was Loki or
Yeah.
Sylvie. And then Tom Hiddleston comes in, and they talk, and then boom, the timekeepers are back. So Renova, the judge that we were that I mentioned on the TikTok video. I think you saw it, King. Um, she has a relationship with Kang the Conqueror. Now, Kang the Conqueror in the comics, basically is like the timeline, kind of like God, but also like just fucks around with every timeline that he goes through, especially with the Avengers, and he hates the Avengers. But he is in ties with Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. He's one of these his what's it called, predecessors, and the
Yeah.
there's
One of
another
his
word.
descendants from the future.
Descendants. There you go.
Yeah.
And so that is going to tie in with the Fantastic Four later on. Um, but anyways, going back, so Raven, whatever her name is, the judge, she has a relationship with Kang. So there's like a little thing that we might see later on in the fifth episode. especially in the sixth episode, because Loki mentioned that in the fifth episode it's gonna get crazy because he was crazy about the whole script when he read it, but because he was like, "Whoa, fourth episode, but fifth episode, oh my god."
Yeah. I'm Helston,
Um,
I believe. Paul
so
Bettany was the one that gassed us up that pissed me off.
yeah,
When he
that's
said there was somebody that he
nah. I
had in
trust
mind.
I trust Tom. I trust
No, I
Tom a little bit
trust
more
Tom definitely. It was
because
Paul Bethany that I was like, I'm never
yeah.
trusting him again.
No, no, no. But Tom like has a way of insinuating because of that interview that we talked about where he was like, the question was, does Loki get into a relationship with anybody? And he was like, first you have to fall in love with yourself or understand yourself and love yourself. So, that's where he was playing on words, and then we were just like, you see, we got you, motherfucker.
Yeah, you could.
But
Yeah,
he led us
you
on
could
into the
tell.
right direction.
Yeah,
And so, where was I going with this? So, it, I think in the next episode, so at the end of the episode, we get, was it four Lokis? Four Lokis, which is insane. So everybody thought that one of the actors that plays Hugh Grant, that we see as an old Loki, with the traditional comic book costume, is part of it, right? Then we get Loki that's an alligator. That I didn't know that was a thing. Loki that's a kid that's straight out of the comics that looks amazing, like just 100% detailed. And then Thor Loki, or Loki that holds Mjolnir,
yeah.
which is a freaking like very very classic old age Viking type of Mjolnir. You know what I'm
Let's call
saying?
him Thoki.
Oh, I like that Loki.
It's
Um,
Thoki.
I don't know. I think that it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be cool. I hope the alligator Loki kind of talks or transforms into something else. Maybe he's stuck as that alligator, but then later on doesn't.
Yeah,
Um, I think that these Lokis though are part of the comic book universe Loki, because it's all connected, right? It's all crazy, and I forgot what Earth this is. I think this is Earth 1999 or 19999,
what?
the
The world that
MCU.
he
No,
got
no,
stuck
no,
in,
no, no, the MCU, the MCU Earth or MCU multiverse.
where he's at
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. It's all destroyed. I know that's New York City,
No,
but
no, no,
that's.
no. I'm saying his Earth. Okay, so Earth 1616,
Oh yeah, that's
right?
right.
The MC.
He's because of the Avengers. The
Yeah,
Avengers
yeah,
came
yeah.
out in what time? What year did it come out? 19.
I think it's 1999. So nine.
Okay.
So 1999. I think some of them. Anyways, yeah. So I think we're all gonna get those types of Lokis, all those comic book for type of Lokis into this show. I think that's what's happening. It's gonna be insane,
It's
and
not Hugh Grant. He's not Hugh Grant who's playing that
oh,
old
it's not
Loki.
Hugh Grant. Edward
I
Grant.
forgot his name. We saw him in Doctor Who.
Yes, we saw him in Doctor Who. Yeah, I think it's Edward Grant.
You noticing that they're casting Doctor Who characters?
Yes, yes. It's not Edward Grant. Damn, what's his fucking name? Um, but everybody was saying that this guy that they casted because he's one of the biggest. He's well known. Oh, Richard E. Grant. Richard Grant. He
Yeah,
he's always playing a bad guy in the
yeah.
in shows. So everybody thought, he has a great bad guy face. He has a great bad villain face. He also played a bad guy in, what was that Star Wars movie that he was in? Seven. He was in a Star Wars movie. I just don't remember which one he was in, but he played a bad guy. Um, but yeah, he always plays a bad guy. But this time he's not playing a bad. Well, he kind of is, but he's not vigilante, or I guess whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, he's
Playing a
wearing the
Loki.
classic Loki. I kind of like that suit.
I just don't know.
I
I
mean,
I,
there's
I
still
don't know.
yeah. there's still too much because it was still stuff that hasn't been revealed. Remember, we're gonna get the President Loki. We still haven't gotten that yet. So um let's see what's happening with Sylvie. But this now it gets more interesting. No one dies who gets hit by that rod.
Yes. So
That means this Mobius is still alive. It's
oh,
just where is he?
I love Owen Wilson, man. Like that dude is
No, it broke my heart when he
fucking.
found
I
out
had
that
tears. I
she
had
lied to him
yeah.
when he was in the library. And it was like, holy crap. Like, I saw the expression in his face, even the expression he made when Loki came out. He was angry. Like, he was saying, you're all, you know, you're all variants. You're all people from Earth. Like, he's like yelling at them. And then it kind of changes his tone. He's no more joking around with Loki. Like, he sees it like it sounds like he's telling the truth. But yet, he starts to think about it and said, he's the god of mischief. Let me just let this go.
So somebody on TikTok also made a video saying how every episode is a Infinity Stone, how it fits. So in the first episode, I believe it was the orange one. So it was Soul Stone. So he was taken out of place, and his soul or his body was into the TVA, and you see orange all over it and everything like that.
Yeah.
In the second episode, I think it was a red stone. So the reality stone. So realizing that everything was fake, it wasn't all real and everything like that. That you can change the timeline. I forgot what it was. I forgot. Hold on. I can find the video right now though. And it's pretty cool how like people are really invested in this show, but also like putting their own theories and also not calculating, analyzing every little detail. And it was also a thing on the end credit scene where a file gets moved every single time it's the end credit scene, so it's coming closer and closer to the screen, making a serial number kind of bigger and expanding a little bit closer. I forgot
Yeah.
what that one was though. I don't remember that one. But the Infinity Stone. Hold up. And no, I think I saved it. You know what? I could just do this. Oh, great. He didn't tag her. I think it's this one. Where is it? No, it's not this one. Why is it? What? Oh, sorry. I don't know. I can't find it, but it's very interesting on how it is and how it's, all conversing. I forgot what else I was gonna talk about. What are your thoughts on the
Eventually,
episode?
somebody else will end up coming up with that also theory. It's kind of like the theory that came out with on WandaVision, which each episode signified the what is it, the 7 stages of grief.
Hmm?
Or is it 5, 7? Not sure, but I think
Um,
7.
7.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this, somebody else will try to kind of take that and like even make it even much bigger.
And also at the end of the one of the parts of the first episode, I mean the first minutes of the episodes, when we see the timekeepers, the runes, the red thing behind them that's
Yeah,
like red. Apparently, it's a runes that also it's like magical, something like Scarlett Johansson and Agatha were doing, where it holds everybody's powers, it holds everybody's magical powers. So that's another thing also where
definitely
you
going to
can't
be
use your
canceled
magic in
soon,
the
my friend.
TVA.
Scarlett Johansson or Elizabeth Olsen?
Did I just fuck that up?
Yeah, man.
I keep fucking doing that. Today I was with my girl and we were talking about like I forgot her name, but I keep thinking it's oh my god. Now I'm thinking Scarlett Johansson, but I couldn't think of her name. I was thinking of Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. I'm like, her name's not Natasha Romanoff, and I was googling that and I was like, wait, Natasha doesn't have kids. Not on this universe. I'm like, wait, what? Getting it wrong. Keep mixing them up. Anyways, yeah,
It's
Scarlet
because it's
Witch,
Scarlet. It's because it's Scarlet Witch. That's
Scarlet
why.
Witch, and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, it keeps fucking me up. It's too damn similar, man. Too
Yeah.
damn similar. I imagine Chris Pine, Chris Tucker, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. Too many Chris's. This
Yeah.
goddamn industry. So basic, fucking basic ass name. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the episode's gonna hold. This was it 2 days? Wednesday? Wednesday. Do I want to stay up at 1 a.m.? No, I don't. But do I really want to? Yeah, because now I know that there's going to be 4 or 5 Lokis. And did you see that the Avengers Tower is like decimated? So yes, it's in New York City. What year does it take place though?
That's true. You had to. Yeah.
Because
It
is
was
it
it.
during
It's
Endgame and then
it's
all the
it's this.
timelines are just fucked? Or is it 2012 where the what was it, the Kree? No, not the Kree. The scroll. No, it's the Kree. The Kree attacked New York and everything's decimated. What happens? What is
Yeah.
known?
Who knows? It probably does take place like way later because it or something got altered.
Yeah.
Like who knows?
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
want to know what I want to know. The mystery is why was she taken away
That's
and she
another thing
accused of being a variant? There
because
has to be some reason why, and I don't know if it's because, of course, it's gonna be like the timekeepers probably told her like, "Oh, we have to go get her because she's a variant or whatever." But it was probably them bullshitting her, and she ended up just taking some child without even knowing more about it.
so
Maybe it was,
I mentioned on my video TikTok. Of course, I'm always going back. I mentioned cable, and the reason why I mentioned cable is because the origin of Apocalypse is always the entrance of Cable, where he always wants to kill Cable as a kid. I mean, wants to kill Apocalypse as a kid, but accidentally, somehow, some way, it's Cable that somehow fucks up and then gives the powers to Apocalypse as a baby, and then ultimately can't change the timeline. So it's kind of like the timekeepers or whoever's controlling the TVA, getting Sylvie at a young age, but then because of that, resenting everybody, especially the control of the TVA, that she starts doing all that stuff to the TVA. So it's kind of like when you take her out of place, you're creating the origin, even though she's the variant. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That makes sense. I don't think that makes sense.
Um, Pretty much
Maybe
what
not
we're
the way I
talking
worded it.
about is usually the idea of time travel. It's very difficult when it comes to time travel or how the Marvel Cinematic Universe's timeline is very odd. And there's still plot holes that need to get fixed. Or maybe they won't fix it at all and then just leave it as is. And, a director or writer will explain it in an article why this is the way it is. But yeah, I want to know if there's what's the reason, unless she was supposed to get captured and taken, but managed to get out, and that wasn't supposed to happen. Like that was, it they ended up, you know, she ended up having to get out and then doing all this stuff and causing shit to happen, unless, there was an agenda. Because I mean, a person who knows what the timeline, if a person knows the timeline, they could easily just screw them up by just doing something in the past to try to affect it. You know, I'm talking about if they ended up taking this child to do all these things, then she's meant to do all these things because
Yeah.
probably Khan the Conqueror make it so. You know, because if your boss tells you, "Hey, go do this and take this girl, she's a variant," and you do take her, and then she causes all this stuff. I'm pretty sure he said it for a reason. The
is it
fact that those timekeepers were fake too means there's got to just be one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's got
I
to be
think,
one
and there was a theory too where it was like if Kang the Conqueror um created the
because no
TVA,
one looks at no one.
he
None of those three aliens look like that giant face statue in the background. None of them do. That dude looks like, what was his name? Is it Jordan Majors? I think that's his name. Or
yeah,
Jonathan
yeah,
Major.
yeah. That looks like him. It just it's so it's the theory was he created the TVA, but then decided to just kind of like use it as a thing if he ever messes up and then needs to go back or something like that, and then use like humans in order to go back and revert it as a practice. I don't know. It's a weird. I don't know. I don't know what the TVA is. I don't know. I don't know who controls it. I don't know if it's Kang or maybe it's somebody else that we know.
Hmm.
And then you mentioned that Loki does something that we're going to see Idris Alba's character in
Yeah, that's the thing. Idris Alba's character died in
Endgame.
Endgame. Like he was stabbed, he
Oh
freaking
no,
died.
Infinity War. Sorry, Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War in the ship. And of course, there was no way of mentioning because he wasn't part of the snap. He was killed before the snap. So he's dead. And somehow, if it's probably a flashback or he's actually coming back, he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is kind of interesting because it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and not Thor
Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder. It says Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't know. Maybe at some point something gets altered, something changes that Loki might do that it might affect the timeline. Who knows? And they said it was their serious repercussions that's going to shake the MCU. That's going to be done in Loki. So let's see. I can't wait for that.
You know, seeing the Thor, a black version of Loki holding Mjolnir. What if we see that Mjolnir going to what's her name again? It's
Jane
supposed,
Foster.
yeah, Jane Foster.
I don't know. That hammer does not look like a regular like the regular hammer Thor has. Thor's hammers look so simple, simplistic. Just
Silver, yeah, his is more like ancient type of, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Who knows? Who knows? And it's smaller too. It's not big.
That's true. I mean, it was created by by this guy, the this dude that was in Infinity Wars, big gigantic dude that played, was it Lannister in Game of Thrones? I don't know.
Got his name. See, I suck with names, man.
Yeah, I think it's just late, or we need
Oh,
coffee before we start these things.
indeed. No, I can't sleep after that. Then. I mean, coffee doesn't wake me up and do anything, but I mean, I guess it does in the sense that I can't go to sleep until like 4 in the morning, and then I can't wake up, and then no, I'm not doing that.
Sorry, people.
We
This
should
is
do
not
this
one of
early,
our
but we have work.
greatest episodes.
Say that again.
This is not one of our greatest episodes.
It's not one
It's
of the
like,
greatest episodes of learning and remembering names, guys. Okay,
yeah.
we're young and we're 10:44 at night, so it is what it is. um, this will be posted up Tuesday morning. I'll try to do it Tuesday.
What movie?
Um, yeah, I think that's it. I can't think of
Oh,
anything else. Any thoughts? Any ideas? I know this episode is going to be epic. I know we're gonna have fun with the Lokis. I know we might see in this episode also him being president somehow. Because I mean I could see that in the last episode, but maybe that's just like a dream that he has as President Loki.
hmm. I don't know. But yeah, I now I know that there, if Mobius is alive, then he'll have, hopefully he has that, he still has that knowledge that he's, you know, not an actual TVA employee, that he was actually a real person,
Also,
not
do
farmed
they
by the
age in the
timekeeper.
TVA?
Huh?
Do they age in the TVA?
I don't know. I don't know if it's age or anything. I mean, there's older people, but what if these people are just, just
Because the
taken
guy
and
looks the same. Remember the guy that's like asking him questions if he's a robot? He looks the
yeah.
same. The guy that's in the desk, he looks the same. So I don't
Maybe
know.
they don't age. Maybe that's the way the whole TVA section works. Or they're taken, if they're taken from Earth, placed there at the age that they are, and then they remain that age for the, for the rest of their life through eternity in the TVA. Maybe in TVA you just don't age. Because look at
The judge.
uh, uh, uh um if the theory is correct that the TVA is actually located in the quantum realm, then Paul Rudd didn't even age. Ant-Man's character didn't age. Scott Lang,
Yeah,
he
you're
didn't
right.
age. He stayed the same. But even in real life, Paul Rudd does not age.
That man does not age, and he's like 50 now.
I'm telling you, he still
Did
looks
you
the
see
same
that
as he was in Clueless.
freaking Friends too?
I know.
Clueless. What was the other one that he did in the early 90s? Summer Wet Hot, something like
Wet
that.
hot, wet hot American summer.
There you go.
He
And I
did
think that was
that.
early. That was 90s, no?
Yeah, I think it was Clueless. Was Clueless. I think was one of his
Clueless was earlier.
first.
Looking at it
Maybe I'm
right
wrong,
now.
but I know Clueless is older than Red Hot American Summer, Wet Hot American Summer.
I saw the Netflix one. I kind of got bored. I thought, I'm sorry. Yeah, Clueless 1995.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna look for the summer. Wait, Hot Summer American something, right? Is that a movie?
Yeah, there's two of them. One that came out on Netflix original, and then a movie that came
No,
before
that was a
that.
series that they did on Netflix.
Was it a series? I don't
Yeah, it was a
remember.
TV. It was a TV. Yeah,
Yeah, because oh, I didn't know that. I thought it
yeah, it
was
was
a
a
film.
TV series, 2015, and then Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later was a mini series. Yeah. Oh wow! So that first one was 2015. The other one was 2007. Never mind. I was completely wrong. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, they're filming Ant Man and the Wasp. Filming right
Yeah,
now.
they said this. I think they started production already. I
Nice,
think Michael Douglas already posted like he's starting production already.
crazy, nice. That's good. Man, the talks that they have in that Marvel studio board meeting has to be on point with everything. Anyways, I think that's it. I think that's all we all could talk about. I have nothing else to talk about. Any last thoughts, man?
No last thoughts, man. I ain't got nothing really. I just, I don't know. I don't know.
I think we're good. All right. Well, if that's the case, man, I think we should end it here. Thank you for joining us. Sure, this is okay. Yeah. Thank you for joining us here at Geek Mythos podcast. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Stitcher, Amazon Music Prime, or Amazon Music and slash podcast. I think that's what it is. Um, YouTube, Twitch, and I feel like I'm missing one. And you can join our Discord. Just hit the link tree down below, and you can find us all there, or you could just find the links down below also. I think on the podcast description. Yeah, and even on YouTube description. This is Jose, and this is Joey, and we wish you a good night.